Let's assume you are in a front split position. Should your back leg stay like this or like this? Can you see the difference? Like this or like this? This is exactly what I'm talking about in this video.
The Flexibility Guy, Coach Elia.
Hello everyone and welcome to Mobility Academy and the Flexibility Guy, Coach Elia. And in today's video I'm going to show you the real difference between an externally rotated leg front split and an internally rotated leg front split. Which is to say, should your back leg be rotated out or down? This is the real question. But before I start, let me show you my book, Split Second, which is the complete playbook to master your splits and drastically improve your lower body flexibility. So if you want to master the splits and increase your lower body flexibility, I strongly suggest you check out this book following the link in the description down below. All right, now let's talk about the front split. All right, so in a front split, you can have your back leg externally rotated, which means that your back leg, your knee and your foot are looking out, all right? Or internally rotated, which means that your knee and your foot and also the whole leg are watching down. Now, the real difference here is about muscle activations and long-term progress, all right? Now, think about it this way. If you externally rotate your leg, so you turn your leg out, all right? So you look out with your knee and with your foot. This externally rotates the hip joint, but it doesn't change the position of your front leg. But by doing that, you must know that you decrease the stretch on your back leg hip flexors, like specifically on your iliopsoas, which is the main muscle stretched on the back leg in a front split position. Now, this happens because the iliopsoas is an external rotator, which means that when it contracts, it externally rotates the hip, all right, the femur. And if you externally rotate, you contract your iliopsoas, so you decrease the stretch, all right? This is why a lot of people can perform the front split with their back leg looking out. This is not wrong. This is not something that you're doing wrong. But as I said, for the long-term progress and for the best stretch possible, I strongly suggest you keep your back leg internally rotated, which means that your back knee and your back foot should look down, all right? And with that, I mean that the whole leg, your quad, your knee, your shin bone, and your foot should be turned down. This will internally rotate the leg. And as I said, the iliopsoas is an external rotator. So when you internally rotate, you stretch the iliopsoas more. And this is good, not only for your flexibility. This is of course good for your flexibility because you'll be stretching your iliopsoas more, but also not only for the iliopsoas, also for your front leg. Because if you decrease the stretch on your iliopsoas, you decrease the stretch also on the front leg, because in a front split, the back leg influences a lot the front leg, all right? So if you change the position of your back leg, you change also the stretch on your front leg. So if you turn the back leg out, you decrease the stretch on your front leg and vice versa. So if you turn the back leg in, you increase the stretch not only on the back leg, but also on the front leg. So for the long-term progress, if you're looking for really flexible hamstrings and iliopsoas muscles, you should definitely internally rotate the back leg. Now, let's talk about another really interesting topic, which is externally rotating the back leg in a front split to kind of create a position which is similar to the position of the hip in a side split, all right? This may help a lot actually, because if you externally rotate your back leg, you create a position inside your hip joint which is really similar to a side split position. All right, so in a side split, you have both legs spread wide apart. Now, if you keep that back leg really externally rotated, much like in a side split, all right, like this, you create a similar position. But can you say like my hips are not touching the floor? Both, because my front hip is still in the exact same position as it was during a kind of a standard, all right, front split position. So if from this position here, I really do want to focus on straightening the leg. So here, like the focus is different. All right, so you don't want to just externally rotate, just do that, because here, as I said, you just decrease the stretch. It just makes the position easier to perform. All right, you do want to focus on externally rotating and straightening the leg completely, trying to kind of create the same kind of activation you have in a side split, and you can also turn the body a little in like this, just to feel that you are creating a position which is similar to a side split position. This is really similar, but even though this may help quite a lot, I really do think that you should kind of separate the two kind of trainings, all right? So if you want to achieve the front split, just achieve the front split, and now you know the correct technique, which is leg internally rotated. If you want to achieve the side split, there are many different exercises you can do to achieve the side split, all right? And I wouldn't suggest you do this one because the risk of hip impingement during this variation here, so the front split with the leg externally rotated, is high because your hips are really low, and as you externally rotate, you really pull the femur into a weirder position, all right? So if you can just avoid that, work on your side split. I'm not saying that you shouldn't work on your side splits. Of course, you should work on your side splits, but you have a ton of exercises to do. All right. So if you're working on your front split, work on your front split. If you're working on your side split, work on your side split. When you have both the splits, which means that you have the front split, you can do the front split, and you can maybe almost do the side split. All right. You don't have to be that advanced. But when you are really close to that level, then you can think about, all right, maybe I can do the front split with both kind of hip activations, just to understand better the difference and to move my hip into the correct position. But not before that. All right, do you see a lot of people just staying with the back leg externally rotated and not internally rotated in the front split? All right, so at first, you do want to make sure that you master the front split with the correct position, with the correct hip position. Then, once you are there, you can think about, all right, let's do both, because your body is prepared. You know, I'm just saying that for you, for your health, for the health of your joints. That's why. All right. Now, guys, now you know how you should perform a front split position. So with your femur internally rotated, right? But if you got any kind of questions or any kind of doubts or any kind of opinions, if you've been doing the front split for a while and maybe now you got a question or something, remember to leave a comment down below, because I'll be really happy to have a chat with you and to talk about it, all right? Also, remember that if you enjoyed the content, hit the thumb up button and help me grow this YouTube channel. It means a lot to me, guys, and you know that, all right? So, with that said, that's all from the flexibility guy, Coach Elia. Have a nice stretch, do the front split with the correct technique, and see you in the next video. Bye.